Hey ladies! Last week I went on a mini vacation with Tyler and Kevin to California, and we went to Six Flags. We visited with Anna and Angelique, and then on our way home we visited our friend Lindsay. I intended on filming stuff while we were there, but I didn't film really anything at all, period, except for in the car rides there and back. So I have Kevin, who posted some vines, to kind of summarize our trip.
Oh look, windmills! More windmills! Tyler's driving through windmills! Way too many windmills, oh my god! Hotel! 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 Fruit Loops! Such a fancy painting. Quite a fancy painting indeed. They're the same painting!
Okay,
It's green! It's green! You're green! Roller coaster! Roller coaster! Roller coaster! Roller coaster! Roller coaster! We're heading in a car. I'm gonna draw this straight line. Oh look, oh god, no.
My story comes from our trip. We rode all 15 roller coasters that were open. There were a couple rides that were closed and we were really bummed about it, but the fact that we squeezed in that many roller coasters in one day was pretty amazing. The only ride that we rode twice was the Green Lantern. And early in the morning, it said a 15-minute wait, but we basically walked in and almost got right on the ride. What we had planned to do was I would sit next to Tyler and Kevin would sit on the other side by himself, because it's like two cars and then in the middle there's a bar, so like you're back to back with two other people. But they had me and Kevin switch, and I don't know how fast the boys realized it, but I was like, oh, it's based on weight. But later when we came back to ride it again, it actually ended up being like the second to last ride we rode, after being the second ride that we rode all day. We were in line with this skinny mom and her two skinny daughters. Like, they were tiny, the tiniest. The girl who was seating us all put Kevin with the mom and then the two little girls on the other side of them, and obviously that was off balance. But what I didn't notice until later was that Tyler and I were paired up with these two other women that were, according to Kevin, twice my size each. Now I don't remember what they looked like, but on this ride you go, it's like a vertical track, so you go up and like around and like through these loops, but you never like turn or anything. You're just going like vertical. And so what happened was the first time we rode it, we flipped like once. We flipped once near the end. This time, automatically, like as soon as the ride started, Tyler and I are like leaning backward, and I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be crazy. The minute the ride took up, I'm just like, the force of their weight was pulling us so hard that not only did we flip twice, but like I was holding on for dear life. I felt like I was gonna be flung out of the ride. And then Tyler, oh my god, afterward when we got off, I saw one of the girls and she was like, oh man, we gotta do that shit again. And I was just like, oh god. So real quick, I'm going to reply to a couple of yous. Angelique, when you mentioned Matt Bomer, I was like, he looks really crazy familiar. And I had already known he was in White Collar, but I was like, no, I've seen a show with him in it. Like, I've watched a show with him in it. Turns out he is Bryce Larkin from Chuck. And if you haven't watched Chuck, which I know at least Anna's watched, I think Amy, you've watched it, right? Because you like some of my posts on Tumblr about it. But it is so good. You need to watch Chuck. Talia, I loved your special surprise. I know I already commented on the video, but I'm just going to tell you right now. I love the part where you're like in It's a Small World and you're just like, Amy, I'm totally up for a Supernatural marathon as long as you can catch up to me. I'm already halfway through the first season, which isn't very far for how long I've been watching it. Love you ladies. Talk to you next week. Bye. Horsies! Oh.